And welcome back to Blake's Den. In this video I'm going to investigate the heavy steering on my Ford 3000 tractor. So let's make a start. So for those who don't know, this is a Ford 3000 tractor from 1965. It is one of the first ones built actually. I can't remember what number it is off the production line, but it's single digits. Very original, as you can see. All this lovely patina, which people pay thousands for now. Very basic tractor, 3-cylinder diesel engine, and it does not have power steering, and the steering is really heavy. It's also like really inconsistent. You turn it a bit, it gets lighter, then it gets heavier again. I suspect there's a problem with the steering box, but I'm going to try a few other things first. So yeah, I might as well make a start. First thing I want to do is jack up the front end and see how heavy the steering is. I'm hoping you can hear me okay. It's another glorious summer's day, and I've pulled it under the carport so I don't get wet. Just while I'm here, if this sort of thing interests you, then please consider subscribing to the channel. It costs you nothing. I've also got a Mini here, which is under, I wouldn't say restoration, renovation. I've got another Mini here, which all works. I've got a Mini based tractor over there, Turner Ranger, as well as a Land Rover, which is near, and a Caravan as well, plus anything else I can get my hands onto. So if you want to subscribe, please click that button. It really does make a difference to the channel. I've done a bit of a sketchy jack up on the front end just for demonstration. I'll show you what I mean. If I come around here, trying to move the steering, bear in mind there's no weight on it. Like, I can only just move it with one hand, and it seems to get lighter. So we're gone past the central position now, and it seems to be getting heavier again. Yeah, it's definitely not quite right. The previous owner said it may need a new steering box. I suspect what it needs is a lot of greasing and some oil in the steering box. So let's take a look at that. On each kingpin, upright, whatever you want to call it, there is a grease point, such as there. I've cleaned the grease off it. There was a little bit of grease, I think it was mainly just debris on there. I know this tractor hasn't been used in 15 years, which means it's not been greased in 15 years, which in reality probably means it's not been greased in 20 years before that, at least. So yeah, I think it could do for a bit of a greasing. Instead of just putting the grease gun on now, I'm actually going to take that grease nipple off, because I suspect it's just completely blocked. So I'm going to get a socket on there and see if we can tease it off. I've sprayed it with a bit of WD-40. What I don't want is it to snap and have to buy a new one, but we'll see how it goes. Quite unbelievably, I put a 7/16 socket on and it just loosened off straight away. So maybe this has had some maintenance in the past. We'll soon see. Right, we'll take this off, we'll take the one off on the other side, we'll take them in the garage and clean them out. Back in the garage, I've got the 2 grease nipples. This camera won't pick it up very well, but they are blocked, so I'm just going to put them in a sort of set of vice grips and then just hit them with a wire wheel, clean them up, and then we'll see if we can clear them out with either the airline or a pick. And you probably can't see this, but I've cleaned them up and I've pushed some grease through using my grease gun, which I've got a love-hate relationship with. It either works or it doesn't, but it seems to be working. So alright, get these back on the tractor, get a bit of grease in, see what happens. Now they're back on, I'm back out at the tractor. I'm going to pump some grease in. So lucky, you can see it's actually quite a lot of grease already around by the nipple, so I actually might suggest that it's actually well greased anyway, but a little bit more won't do any harm whatsoever. I'll come around this side and I'll do the same on this one. I think this one's a bit more worn, just doesn't quite click on as well. And this one's taken a bit more. It's taken a lot more. So yeah, I'll keep doing this and I'll bring you back when I'm finished. Interestingly, on the, I say the passenger side there, but I guess you'd call it the left-hand side or the near side. When I greased it up, a load of grease came out the bottom there, but you can see it forced out some really rusty water, like rusty, horrible coloured water. So, that might have done something. All I'm going to do, jack this up, and I'm just going to cycle it a few times to try and get the grease worked through thoroughly. Both sides have taken quite a lot of grease. You can see it's oozing out the top and the bottom. The steering is lighter, but still not right. It's still too heavy. I've driven plenty of vehicles without power steering, trucks, cars, tractors, but nothing quite as heavy as this. Yeah, something's not quite right. So next job is to look at the steering box, which means getting this tin off here. So the steering box, well, that's the back of the steering box where the arms come out. So the steering column comes down, drives a gear that drives like a mechanism, and those arms move backwards and forwards as they move backwards and forwards, pulls the steering rods, steering turns. Very simple. So let's get this tin off, which is just held in by a few screws, and we'll see what horrors lurk behind. So those screws came out surprisingly easily. I think I've got them all. So let's see what we've got behind here. I don't think there's any more. Okay, not too bad. This is debris. And yeah, we've got the steering box here. And where is the fill point? Interesting. Can't quite see it yet. I think what I'll do is I'll just pop the other side off, if it'll come off, and then I'll yeah, have a bit of a clean up and see what we've got. There was another screw on the other side I'd missed. Yeah, it does look like something might have been living in here at some point, which is interesting. I still can't see the fill point though. I thought it was on the back face, but I can't see it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to get this all cleaned up, get all of this out of the way, and then we'll see what we've got to play with. So with a bit of Googling, I think that brass dot there, which you probably can't see, is the fill point, which I think is that one in the middle there. You can just see a little groove on it. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to clean up quite a bit around there. And then I'll pop that out and I'll see if there's any fluid in there. So I've just got a cable tie here. I've got the fill plug off and I've just sort of put this in because it'll bend. There is definitely oil in there, which surprises me. I thought it must have leaked out because the state of lift arms is quite, well, particularly around this side. Sorry, this will probably get you dizzy. You know, there's definitely evidence of sort of leakage around here, but is that just diesel leakage from the stop tap? I don't know, it might be. Okay, unfortunately, I've got no gear oil to top that up with. So I can't actually tell if it's like right near the top. I imagine you just fill it up to that hole till it flows out. But I mean, there's quite a lot in there on that. So might see if I can get a little bit more in there. Whilst I'm waiting for oil, one of the jobs I want to do is the tow hitch. So this came with the tractor separately. And at the moment it's just loose, slides in and out. So there's two positions it can be, like further out there or a bit further in. Should really be a pin goes through there to secure it. I haven't got a pin, but I've got a big bolt. So I'm going to go underneath the tractor now and see if I can get that into position. So underneath the tractor here, my plan is to do something like this. A big old bolt off something random. Put the washer on that. That'll go up through here. And then in the gap up here, put the nut. And then wind the nut on. And hopefully that'll just be enough just to hold it in place. So I'm going to play around with this and see what I can... Oh, there we are. Just starting to bite now. There we are. I'll just nip that up. But that should do the job. Well, that's that on. Obviously it does move around a bit, but it's not going anywhere. Just the sloppiness in the hole. You can offset it, but I will not be doing that. While I'm down here, I might as well get the anti-sway bars on for the lift arms. One came with it, one came separate. I've not got the balls in yet for the hitch, but what I'll do, I'll put these bars on. They go through a couple of linch pins. In fact, you can see one there, and there's one across the other side there. I'll put them on. I'll just temporarily tie them onto the lift arms at this end. So there we are, both anti-sway bars on, whatever you want to call them. Just cable tied on for now. Also just put this handy bit of rope which came with the tractor around here just to support it. Interestingly, the lift arms aren't dropping and they actually stay up even after a couple of weeks, so I must have good hydraulic seals on this. So good stuff. Right, I'm going to get some oil and then we'll come back and we'll take it for a test run. In Halfords, got some gear oil, so I'm going to see how much this will take. I'm not expecting it will take an awful lot, but I just fill it up until it runs out. Not the most exciting clip on YouTube, but yeah, well, it's definitely taken some. That's full up now with some pouring out. There you go. So I'm going to put the bung in and we'll see how that does. Back together, got the tin work back on now. Yeah, we'll start this up and then I'll take it for a little drive and we'll see how it performs. So we're in neutral, push the stop in, a little bit of throttle. Oh, and in case you're wondering, those who watch my alternator change video where I replace the dynamo with the alternator, yeah, it's working absolutely fine. So really good upgrade. Right, let's start her up. Doesn't seem want to go there. Nearly. There we are. Well, I'll pull this out. Well, it's back in its normal parking spot. It's still quite heavy steering, but I think it's always going to be heavy. I think it was possibly a little bit better. Quite hard to tell. Anyway, I'm going to leave this running for a bit to charge up the battery. I've shut it down now. Yeah, seems alright, is it? I think the steering was a bit better. I say it's never going to be finger light. So it's going to be a bit heavy going, but yeah, I can live with that, I think. As long as you keep moving, you're alright. But yeah, I need to put this to work. I've actually got a loader I want to put on this, which will obviously make the steering even heavier at the front. One thing I haven't checked today is the tyre pressures, but I think they're both quite high. But I say it was heavy when it was jacked up in the air, so that shouldn't make a difference. So I hope you liked this video. If you did, press that like button below. Please consider subscribing to the channel. It makes a massive difference to how YouTube promotes my videos. And if you've got any questions, comment below. I respond to all of my comments. So once again, thank you for watching and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.